I always knew I wanted to be an attorney. I just like helping people.
Are you okay? Do you need any help? Thanks, Christopher.
I've been in Vegas helping the little guy since I was a little guy. Are we any good at helping you win? No, we're great. Call us now for help with your injury case.
I'm David Kohlmeyer, the founder of the Las Vegas Legal Network. The reason why I started the Legal Network is that I noticed that consumers were looking for lawyers and they didn't know what to look for, who to call, where to go. My goal was to create the Legal Network in Las Vegas to help people find the right lawyer to help them depending upon their legal case. I'm not an attorney. This is a lawyer referral network that is helping people get the right lawyer when they need it the most. We offer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where we have lawyers in the network ready and available to help people, whatever their situation or whatever their problem is. Whether they got arrested, an accident, injured, family law cases, whatever legal matter, the Las Vegas Legal Network is here to help people in Clark County. And the other person could have, let's say, a red mark or a scratch. Hey, this is David Kohlmeyer. Welcome to The Problem Solver. Every single week here, Tuesday, 6 p.m., we are here at The Problem Solver Sticky Paws Studio at 215 Rainbow, right behind the new UFC building. We're here solving problems every single week. We have Danny Miner, who's the co-host. Thanks, Danny, for coming today again.
Let's go.
Danny, the legend. Today, we have beautiful Madison Fulton. Thanks so much for co-hosting today.
Thank you for having me.
Madison's unbelievable. She's great, and she's helping us today. So I wanted to, today, a few different topics, just kind of give the update in general. I wanted to talk a little bit of the update about Lake Mead situation. Give us a little update, Danny, in regards to what's going on in regards to the drought. And I know you go out there quite a bit just to recreational. Give us an update about Lake Mead. And just to recap, we did do that challenge of a $5,000 reward, which was supposed to be a crime prevention initiative to put closure if there was another body found in a barrel, kind of helping law enforcement as well, a little bit of search and rescue pressure to law enforcement. Right. So what's the update? What's going on in Lake Mead?
Well, the lake went down another 6 feet over the last month. That's what they're reporting. So I don't see any help for Lake Mead in the near future. And I'm surprised our politicians aren't doing something since it gives drinking water to all of us. I just don't get it. But we all, they found that second body. And like we talked about, right away, they said it was no foul play. So the second body, they're saying definitely not foul play. The first body, if they're looking for DNA on that first body, it's going to take 6 months, 8 months for that DNA to come back. So I'm sure we're not going to hear about that for a while. And I know now they have the FBI looking into it also. Did you see that in the news?
I did.
The FBI is now involved in that first barrel case.
Madison, what's your thoughts in regards to this body situation, Lake Mead? Do you want to go swimming at Lake Mead these days or not really?
No, I always had a little like inkling that Lake Mead was a little sketchy. You know, the mafia was here back in the day. It's probably not foul play. Who goes to the bottom of Lake Mead? Like nobody's
It
just
appears some people. Well, we're finding them right now. I mean, this is the time to find them.
Right. Those are probably from way back then.
Just to recap in regards to the situation, a lot of people don't know that I think it's 200-300 feet that where we're at right now. So when they found the second body after we did the Problem Solver Show did a news release discussing a challenge, again, not to make fun of the situation, we did it as a crime prevention initiative for divers to locate a second body. We had 2 people go out and they were scuba diving and they were just diving recreational, and then they did find the second body in like a sandbar. They were digging a little bit. They were doing a little bit more research. And they called the Problem Solver Show saying, hey, we found the body. Now, it wasn't a body in a barrel, which is specific to the challenge. So there's some rules.
Certified divers.
Certified divers to make sure we do it, correctly. We did find out through Lake Mead that you needed to have certain permits and so on as things came out, because when it's archaeological or historical or criminal activity, you need a permit, which we didn't know in regards to the show. So we want people to follow the rules. But at that point in time, they located a second body. They called us. We said, hey, it's a crime scene. Like you found the body, right? You need to call the police. After we told them that, they called the police. Please come out, make a crime scene. And at this point in time, they're saying that particular body is, they don't feel that there's any type of foul play. But the truth is, we really don't know. Danny, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think what they think, and a lot of people don't notice, about 23 people die at Lake Mead a year. I mean, that's a lot. It's a dangerous lake when it gets windy out there. I'm out there a lot. If I look at the news and it's over 10-mile-an-hour winds, I don't even go out because you can drown out there very quickly. The wind changes. So I believe they probably think it's a drowning victim because there's been a lot of drowning victims at Lake Mead where they never found the bodies. And I know in that particular area, there was a drowning victim years back on a sailboat.
The one thing that's kind of interesting, I think it's a little bit too soon. Maybe they may be trying to make the public feel a little bit safer. But if it was a homicide, it's very possible because there's no flesh on the actual body. They could have been drowned. They could have been stabbed. Something could have happened to them in general. So we don't really know. I guess once you do the DNA and we figure out who it is, maybe we would figure out from a few years back, it was a drowning person, or maybe that person, went missing. They didn't know. So it'd be very, very interesting. So I actually feel very connected to the second body that was located because we did a news release and we basically offered this challenge and people went out. Now the question is, if we didn't offer the challenge, I would honestly believe that we would have not have located that second body because they were digging in the sand. I mean, no one's just really just digging in the sand for no reason, but because of the $5,000, people were digging.
Right. I agree. We helped get that other body. And then people going out too. You got to give them credit. They found the body, you know what I mean? But I think our show should get some credit for finding that second body.
So anyway, the update is we're waiting for the DNA, FBI. I know myself, Danny, we're going to go down to the mob museum just to talk to some historians, talk to them in general. Over the next month or two, right, goes down another 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet. It's actually getting pretty bad. We're going to see what else kind of pops up. Some people say, hey, there's nothing left in Lake Mead, but we feel with your look, how many bodies do you think there are in Lake Mead? It's not a laughing matter, but like, I guess sometimes you have to laugh at something in general, but
right.
How many bodies do you think that are in Lake Mead?
At least like 15 more. Like you got to think of all the crime that happened in Vegas. We were a hotspot for the mafia, the mob, all this.
Okay.
So why wouldn't there be all these bodies?
Okay, so we're going to come back for a quick break. When we come back from that break, I want to discuss what the Problem Solver Show is doing because the goal for us is to solve some problems and be creative and what we're going to do. So when we get back, we're going to talk about something unusual that the Problem Solver is going to do most likely come September 1st. So we'll be back in a quick minute.
Looking good and sounding good has never been more simple. At Sticky Paws Studios, we strive to make it as easy as possible to reach your audience. Our state-of-the-art podcasting facility enables you to come in, sit down, and speak to your audience. We handle the tech. It's that simple. Visit our website or DM us on Instagram at Sticky Paws Studios. We'll see you soon.
I always knew I wanted to be an attorney. I just like helping people.
Are you okay? Do you need any help? Thanks, Christopher.
I've been in Vegas helping the little guy since I was a little guy. Are we any good at helping you win? No, we're great. us now for help with your injury case.
Hey, we're back here at The Problem Solver. Thanks so much for joining us again. We have Danny Miner. We have Madison Fulton joining us today, co-hosting. Thanks you guys for joining again.
Yep.
So we talked about solving problems, and one of the things we came up with, because of the reward and the challenge, we've got a lot of publicity of the show, and we made it all over the world. About 15 different TV stations and news reporters calling from all over. They're still calling in regards to this because, you know, they like the fact that it's like it's actually weather and it's crime. Somehow that weather and crime, you know, because of the drought situation. So a lot of people are picking up. We were in the paper in, I think it was like Venezuela on Sunday, Indonesia on Thursday, and it's all coming, you know, I think I sent you some of the articles.
That was crazy, yeah.
So the question really comes down to, as the problem solver, the goal is to always constantly come up with a way of solving problems. So what we decided to do was, and this was an old idea that I had, and it just kind of came up, is to create something called the Las Vegas Crime Solvers, which would be reenactment of crimes or getting the community involved in helping solve crimes. So it sounds a little bit interesting and funny and different, but the whole point is, when I was a police officer, we used to say that that crime is not a police problem. And people say, what are you talking about? Like, crime is a community problem. The goal is to have the community involved in helping solve crime. So the goal was to come up with a TV show, which is a little bit different from the problem solver, and then there would be reenactment or be interviewed, kind of a cold case investigation. We interview people, we do reenactment, and we share people's story. And we'll say, you know what, if you're able to help solve that crime, there will be a $5,000 reward, $2,500 reward, $50,000 reward, depending upon the situation. Funding can either be from the Las Vegas Crime Solver show, which would be a new show I'm thinking about September 1.
Right.
It could be from, some people mentioned, hey, there's a crime that's involved in family. I have no problem in donating money as a reward if I can get some closure to find out what happened to my family member, my father, my grandfather in general. So there's a lot of people that like this concept. We did start LasVegasCrimeSolvers.com, which right now goes to the ProblemSolver.Vegas app, where there's just a little bit of information, but we will ask people on this particular, we'll start asking people now, if you believe that you have a cold case or a crime that you want to be solved, go to Las Vegas Crime Solvers, put in your name and information, a little bit of a comments. There will be a QR code on the screen that you would scan that takes you to the Problem Solver app. And from there, go to Crime Solvers and fill in the information. And we're going to be taking people's names and numbers, and we're going to come up with different episodes that we can interview people. They can come on the show, do reenactment. We have some local actors in town. We have some local car dealerships right now that want to supply different cars. Like if they said there was a red car and there was a robbery or someone got shot or something. So a lot of businesses want to help out in general, and I think it's great. So it's a little bit different than Crime Stoppers. Explain how that Crime Stoppers program, because it's all over the U.S. compared to how we want to do the Crime Solvers program.
What I think is, and you put it perfect. The police do not solve crimes. The community solve crimes. 90% of the crimes solved out there are solved by the community. The police get there afterwards. We're just note takers and try to put facts together. The community solves the crime. And with this, you got people that have loved ones missing, loved ones that were murdered, that were never solved. I mean, I can't even imagine living with that if somebody in my family was murdered and it was never solved. So what we could do is we can refresh this case, because there's somebody out there that knows something about this case. Every case out there, somebody heard something, somebody knows something. So if we could bring a case back to light, somebody that was never solved, or somebody that's missing here in Vegas, that's what I think we should do. And I think that's what we're going to do other than Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers is, hey, we want to solve this, call in, give a tip. We're going to give more than tips. We're going to have a whole show dedicated to that case. We're going to bring witnesses on. If it takes 2 shows, it takes 3 shows. We want to solve cases here that were never solved here in Las Vegas.
I love it. Madison, what do you think in regards to this situation? Like, what do you think about this concept? You're probably not knowledgeable in regards to Crime Stoppers, but what we want to do. What's your opinion?
I think it's a cool concept, because you're like actually affecting change in your community. It's a little bit more, interactive. You're getting like stuff done. I like it.
Okay. Any other suggestions? Anything you could add? I mean, I know I'm just throwing this out there.
Maybe if you want to like connect with the community more, like do like what he was doing with the live and like have people come on, because then it's like instant, like you can talk about, get these people on. I would suggest that.
You mean live on
like
So-
TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
so basically having a live feed of the show.
Yeah, because then you get that instant interaction with the
Okay.
community.
Engagement,
Yeah.
interaction. Okay. Okay. Like we're looking for different ideas and suggestions. If other people in the community, if you have ideas and suggestions of how to make the program well, like I said, we do have several different production companies that are coming to us and say we want to do this. We think specifically the Lake Mead situation at first, but there's some different anniversaries that are coming up of people that have died. Not that we're going to talk about it today, that the crimes are still unsolved, and we can still bring those things up and try to bring justice to those cases, to those people that have been murdered or other crimes that have been committed. It doesn't just have to be murder, but I mean, that is a major topic. What do you think?
I just want to say one thing here in this segment here before we go. If you have a loved one that was murdered, missing here in the Las Vegas area, email us. Go to our website, email us. If you want something solved, something that's been a long time that they need resolved, contact us. That's what we're here for. That's what we want to do. We want to help the community.
All right. So again, if you want to get involved, if you have a cold case, if you have a family member that there was a crime that was unsolved, go to LasVegasCrimeSolvers.com, which again takes you to an app. You'll fill in the information. There's a QR code that's going to be on the screen. Scan the code, fill in the information, let other people know. There will be a news release that will go out from our show asking for people that if there are cold cases to contact us. And again, reenactment, reward money for help solving the crime in general. So I'm excited about it in general. I think it's going to be a really cool show, different than just a podcast setting that we have like TV and podcast, but really reenactment and going through the case where it may trigger other people saying, oh my God, I remember that orange car or something happened, And we want to make the phones ring. We have some new vanity phone numbers that people can call, whether it's for tip money or to share, to help solve the crime, So that's basically where we're at right now. So again, I'm excited to be part of it. And again, please, if anybody wants to be part of it, let us know. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about some reform that's taking place in Las Vegas and all throughout the nation. So we'll be back in a quick minute.
Stand out from the noise. Podcasting is one of the great wonders to start creating content for your brand. At Sticky Paws Studios, you have a professional studio with audio and video podcasting capabilities to hit every angle of your market. We have in-house editors who are ready to create micro pieces of content from your podcast to post on social media as well. You come in, sit down, and we handle the tech. It's that simple. Visit our website or DM us on Instagram at Sticky Paws Studios. See you soon.
That was weird.
It happens all the time.
Injured? Call 602-HURT. Car accident? Call 602-HURT. Pacific West Injury Law, a firm that focuses on you. Our firm is dedicated to you and your recovery. No fee until we win. Millions recovered. Here when you need us.
Hey, it's David Kohlmeyer, the Problem Solver. Welcome back. Again, Danny Miner. And we have Madison Fulton co-hosting today. Thanks so much, guys. As we're wrapping up the third segment of the Problem Solver today, I wanted to talk about other consequences to people that are committing crime these days in general. Now, today I heard a crazy story about a woman who was at a gas station, had some gas. What's the story with that, Danny?
Well, I guess she was at a business here in Las Vegas, and she was trying to light the building on fire. She had a can of gas. Somebody goes over to get this detective that's at the gas station. The detective goes over there, and she pours gas on him. And he tries to get the lighter out of her hand so she doesn't light him on fire. And a judge released her on bail. So she is released. She's back there out in the community. She only tried to kill a cop and light a business on fire. No big deal. Just release her.
Now, I don't know the whole story, but originally, Madison, the judge said it was a $13,000 bail, which to me is still a little low because DUI and domestic battery is about $5,000. Mm-hmm. And you probably don't know this, but when you want to get someone out of jail, it's 15% for a bail bondsman to be used the fee. So 15% of $10,000 is $1,500.
Right.
So you basically use a small percentage. Unless you have $10,000, you can go down and bring $10,000 and then you get someone released and then you get your money back when I believe when the case is over with. In this situation, a second judge just released them without the bail. The bail normally makes it harder for someone to get out or make sure that they show back to court. But it's a crazy situation in general. I'm not sure the whole story, but it just doesn't make sense. Why would you release someone that is going to start a fire at a gas station, that pours gasoline over a Las Vegas Metro detective? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. If people know you can do these type of things, things will get worse. Crime will get worse. One of the things I would say is when I was a cop in New York City, Rudy Giuliani, whether you love the guy, you dislike the guy, he was hard on crime, and he made the New York City police officers increase citations and arrests on quality of life issues. This is not even a quality of life issue. Like starting a fire is a felony. It's an arson. So we have to be tough on crime in these situations. It's the same reason why some people think they could just shoot a police officer, or they don't care, or be disrespectful, or do different things. Now, I understand, if you don't like the police, that's one thing in general, but, to shoot at a cop or to put gasoline on a police officer and then get released, what do you think, what's that message to the rest of the community of, what you can do? And eventually you may not be a police officer. You may be a victim of a crime, or your mother, your father, your brother, your sister in general. So it's kind of craziness in general. What's your take, Madison, in regards to this? This is what they call jail reform. Mm-hmm. What's your take in regards to crime and people being released? Everyone has a different opinion.
So I believe, people are getting let out on bail. The people that are getting let out and can afford this are only people who can afford it. And the people that are left that can't afford it are stuck in jail with all these crazy people. So I definitely think there should be some sort of reform that is making everyone accountable of their actions with or without money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So you believe in reform, but in this situation with this particular woman, in regards to pouring gasoline, she may have no criminal history from the past.
Right.
So maybe that's why they released it. Do you think that it's serious enough they should keep her?
Oh, I feel like they should keep her. Definitely should not release her, or release her to a mental health professional or asylum, because if this is one crime she's willing to commit with a police officer right in front of her, mm-hmm. what is there to say she's not going to do something crazier without, people to stop her? You know what I mean?
Okay. What you take then, so this is jail reform. The big thing now is gun reform. Like everyone's on TV and with the shootings. I mean, of course, it's a very sad situation with guns. I mean, there's millions and millions of guns on the street in general. What you take in regards to gun reform? I mean, good people want firearms. It's their right to bear arms. You believe that their firearms should be taken. And again, everyone has a different opinion, and we're all respectful here in general. What's your take on that? I mean, because you're younger than Danny and myself, and we have different takes on it because we're retired law enforcement, but what's your take on it?
I believe 100% that there should be gun reform, and people should be getting guns taken away from them. There needs to be more education and more background, because obviously these guns are getting into the hands of the wrong people. Good or bad, I feel like the human life is more important than having a gun.
All right, so the bottom line is you think gun reform, you think that a lot of guns should come off the street.
Yes.
Right, in general. And one of our concerns, Danny, what's your concern in regards to taking guns off the street from people? Like, are bad people giving up their guns?
Well, I mean, I respect...
If they say tomorrow, like, hey, all the guns right now got to come down to the nearest police station, drop off your firearm. Are the bad people going to do that? No. Are we too far away?
We're too far away. Here's the thing. My thing is, you could pass any gun law you want. I call them feel-good laws. You pass these laws and everybody feels good. But the truth is, it's not going to make a difference, because the bad guy, like I think I was telling you on the podcast, the bad guy don't go to Walmart and buy his gun, or he doesn't go to Dick's Sporting Goods or Sportsman Warehouse.
Where do they go?
They go to the corner in the bad area of town, and they sit there for about 5 minutes, and then somebody comes and sells them a gun. The reason I know this is I worked undercover. So I worked undercover drugs. I've bought drugs on the streets. We were able to buy guns on our streets in our city in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, within 3 minutes. So they would throw me out there on the streets, and I can have an illegal gun bought in 3 minutes because they know why I'm standing there. So, when you ban all guns, you're only, to my opinion, and I respect your opinion, is you're only taking it away from the good guys.
Okay, so there's a lot of different reform, jail reform, gun reform. I want to show a quick video. We're going to critique Danny and myself, which is something new, is a video of a way of trying to prevent, police officers and people fighting with, a bad guy in the driver's seat of a car. Let's show a quick video over here on the screen if you're watching it, and let's critique it, Danny Hines, and see whether or not this is going to work out well in the future.
All right.
All right, so basically what it is, we're looking at a police officer driving a car. It's a robot. It's actually kind of funny. There's a police helmet that's there. The police officer, right, has a screen inside his patrol vehicle. He's literally looking at the driver. A ticket's being printed out. The driver of the car is taking the ticket like they work at CVS, and Then all of a sudden the driver just drives away. Again, this is, a roving police vehicle with a robot camera giving tickets. Now, I kind of laugh if it's a really bad area. I think the robot's not going to make it. I think robot lives matter too in the future. But I think when it rolls back, they'll be like missing the TV, missing the thing. Like you have to make an insurance claim after you're done with it. But real quick, what's your take on that?
I think it's a little crazy, but it does. Traffic stops and domestic violence are the two dangerous things a police officer does. When he pulls a car over, it's very dangerous because they don't know who's in there. And domestic violence, same thing. So it does give the cop more safety. Definitely gives the cop more safety. But I don't know if towns are going to be able to afford this, Dave. This is going to be expensive.
It'll be expensive unless robots are cheaper in Harrisburg.
Right.
What's your take on that?
It's not necessarily my take, but Chase's take when he was talking about how they stop a lot of the interactions, the bad interactions with police, like people getting killed. It really eliminates that whole, issue. Which I feel like, a second look at it, that would be, probably really good. But I feel like it's also a waste of money.
It'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. Anyway, so thanks so much, guys, for co-hosting the show today in general. Every single week, we're trying to solve some problems, be creative in general. Again, theproblemsolver.vegas is an app. You can give us a call anytime if you have some problems. Every single week, Tuesday, 6 p.m., Channel 14. Thanks so much for joining us, and be safe. We'll see you next week.
I always knew I wanted to be an attorney. I just like helping people.
Are you okay? Do you need any help? Thanks, Christopher.
I've been in Vegas helping the little guy since I was a little guy. Are we any good at helping you win? No, we're great. Call us now for help with your injury case.